Hello guys, welcome to the Beer Banter Sports Podcast. We are here to discuss about the Indian Premier League. I am your host Mihir.
I'm the co-host Ritwik, and let's begin with the significant points of this week. As you know, this week has been thrilling to say the least. Some crisp T20 matches finally, and we have shortlisted 5 points. So let's begin with the first one, which is focusing on some individual brilliance. So Nikhil, would you like to take it from here?
Yep. So KL Rahul's 132 from 69 balls was an absolute standout in this week. The way he carried his innings was unbelievable. Up till 30 balls, he was not hitting them so well, but he ended up with a heap lot of runs for RCB, ending up winning the game. KL Rahul just toyed with the bowlers, and as everyone saw, he took apart Dale Steyn in an ultimate fashion. He used the cover drives to his benefit, and he has been using them for a while now. So mainly his shots are not that unorthodox. They are mainly orthodox. They are just extensions of the drives. Also, he anchored the innings. He didn't go for those big hits at the start. Got a good start and then converted it into a big one. Another thing I liked about that day was after that innings, he came out to keep and he led his side. He could have easily given the gloves to Nicholas Pooran, but he didn't. He took up the responsibility and kept absolutely cleanly, no fumbles. This Because after facing 70 balls out of the 120, there is a kind of fatigue. But it's his 20 after its 20 overs keeping, we saw how much fit he can be, and many of them picked him as the orange cap. Many of us picked him as the orange cap winner. So he is hopefully on the right track and leading from the front. Superb innings.
Yeah, a true captain's innings by Rahul there.
So, what are your views while he played in the middle overs? Because as you can see, he was quite struggling in that period while the skipper dropped 2 catches and he was playing at a run rate of, I don't know, let's say 7 or 8, because after 50 balls, he had just reached the score of 70, and that is not quite the T20 method. So what do you have to see in his build-up? Had the catches not been dropped?
Okay. Yes, obviously that the catches dropped were a blessing in disguise for him. But that's not his fault. That's the skipper's fault, or that concerned player's fault. He has to play his innings. And about the slow run rate, we've many seen this happen. It's not that young blood rush anymore in the T20 cricket. Many of the batsmen, the openers, tend to take more deliveries, get set, and then once they are set, they unleash themselves as anything. We have seen Watson's innings in the 2018 finals. He from 0 runs in the first 10 balls to a magnificent century. So I don't think there is any kind of way in T20 cricket. It's just that if you are using up the balls, you must smash them at the end and carry the team.
Yes, Prathamesh, you were saying something.
Okay, so I was telling that the drop catches are just an example of the part and parcel of the game. As we all know, catches win matches. So these kind of drops do happen in these crucial times. But as we all know, these are the part and parcel of the game. So I mean, there is nothing to point towards that. So just put that aside and see the inning of Rahul. I mean, he was amazingly fantastic.
So moving from one brilliant innings to another, the one we all love, the guy who is not getting picked, we should say. Mihir, you were saying about him last night.
So I'm going to talk about the fantastic innings played by Sanju Samson against the Chennai Super Kings. As we all know, Chennai started off really well in the first game against Mumbai, but they were hampered by the injury to Ambati Rayudu. And I think one of the key factors of their win against Mumbai was the bowling of Piyush Chawla. He had bowled really well against Mumbai Indians, and Sanju Samson
Yes.
decided to take him apart, and I think he did it very well. Uh, they started off well with Smith having promoted himself to open the innings along with Yashasvi Jaiswal. The youngster did not really click in the first game, but Sanju Samson came out all guns blazing and he absolutely massacred the Chennai bowling attack. He took on Ravindra Jadeja, he took on Piyush Chawla, and by the time he was done, I think Rajasthan were well on their way to a very good total. Smith anchored the innings well as well. But if you look at Sanju Samson's innings, the way he stood tall and just hammered those sixes down the ground, that was absolutely magnificent to
Yeah,
watch.
took the
And
game to them.
yep, and Samson is just a wonderful talent in the current Indian domestic circuit. And if he continues to play like this the entire season, then I think the selectors will have a very hard time not picking him for the next series.
He just
Yeah, of course,
has
the
one.
selection.
What according
Yep, Kedar.
Let's just go 1 second. Okay. Mihir, I just have one question for you. So, just according to you, Sanju Samson should play at a number 3 or should he open the innings for Rajasthan? What do you think? Because he's in quite a good form.
I think he's currently playing well at number 3. I think they have a lot of options to open the innings. They have Butler, Yashasvi Jaiswal is on the bench now. They also have the option of playing Robin Uthappa at the top of the order, and Smith has already promoted himself and he's playing fantastically as well. So I think they should not try to tamper with Samson's position. Samson has done really well at number 3. Over the years, also he has shown his talent, and I think number 3 is a good as good a spot as any for him.
What do
Also
you
another
think?
point. Sanju Samson's number 3 position for the Rajasthan Royals is quite superstitious because all the greater performances have come at number 3, and it's been an absolute drought at number 4. There's not much time difference in the two places where he plays, but the number 3 spot has been absolutely lucky, or he has played well. That is it, but kind
I
of
think
superstitious. So I guess they will go with number 3 as Sanju Samson.
I think in a T20 game, number 3 is a very good spot to play. You can get an opportunity to play in the power play, and if you play the long innings, you'll get a chance at the death overs as well. And I've always said that in a T20 game, your best batsman needs to be at the crease for as long as possible. And number 3 is, I think, the best spot right now for Sanju Samson.
And was this a jibe at Chennai fans?
अरे मी point add करू
That's
का?
for you to take.
Yeah, about the position, what do you think? Has Smith, taken up the opening so Sanju can play at 3, or is it the other way around?
I think in the first game it had more to do with Smith not having had a very great run up to the IPL. So I think he was raring to go at the bowlers, and the way he played second fiddle to Sanju Samson's uh, storming innings. I think that shows a lot of maturity from Smith. He's the captain. He's been given the responsibility this time, and I think that was a very good move by Smith by coming to open the innings. That way, there was a calming presence at the crease for a long time, and that gave Sanju Samson the license to kill against the Chennai spinners.
And adding another point, as he said, your best batsman needs to play more deliveries. So I think considering their whole batting lineup, yes, there is Josh Butler, there is Sanju Samson, but if you're talking about the best, then Steve Smith has to be the best. So I think he has done a great job, though he has played a couple of innings. But I mean, he's averaging 50 now, so I think yes, he's doing decently enough. So I think this batting order needs to be continued.
So moving on to the next point, what are your thoughts on the RCB death bowling lineup?
Well, it is getting extremely monotonous, isn't it? 2017, we are in the IPL. RCB have a issue with the bowling attack. They go back to the auction. They don't address the issue. They have another weak bowling attack, and it goes on. And I guess it's the same this year. They have invested in Chris Morris, but he isn't fit. They are playing Stain, Umesh Yadav, Navdeep Saini. Both are all of the three aren't death bowlers. They are new ball bowlers who hit the deck hard and do the job of giving the wickets at the early at, who give the job of doing the giving the wickets at the early stage of the game. So I guess it's very important in a T20 game that the bowlers perform their jobs right. If the spinners are there, spinners are not bound to bowl the death overs. They are there for the middle overs. The fast bowlers who hit the deck hard need to get early quick wickets. So that's been a problem. They've promoted Umesh Yadav and Steyn to take the lead, but Dale Steyn has never been a death bowler, and he I guess a man who has bowled 140 and hitting the deck hard all his life, you're just telling him to bowl 130 and the cutters back of the length. He'll not be able to pull it off, obviously. And if you say yes.
They went and bought Chris Wokes and was it Tim Southee in one auction?
No. They didn't buy
28
Chris
and
Wokes
2019 auction.
in
Yeah.
2018, 2019. This year they have in the bench they have Isuru Uddana. I don't know much about him because he's not that spectacular. Because if you see in IPL, every team has a particular assigned death bowler except RCB. Everyone have it. MI have Bumrah. So these are the main keys of winning a tournament. You need to have a death bowling proper head who can just be in there and
Get the job
bowl the
done.
crucial overs, bowl the penultimate overs. I don't think it's happening again. Umesh Yadav's another problem is becoming that something in his back of the mind is that he has to bowl the last 2 overs. So he just makes the mess of the starting 2 overs also, as we saw in the first game. He's not finding his line at all, and on the day doesn't find his line, he is pretty much vulnerable. KL Rahul taking tail strain apart was a little bit hurting for everyone, even KL Rahul himself, because no, we've not seen tail strain getting hit so much. 57 runs is too much. So I guess, and main issue there is with captaincy, as everyone has said. So let's see what happens.
So you reckon they might have a good bowling chance if they get in a sort of super over or something?
No, considering the death bowling and after especially the Kings 11 Punjab game, they were 132 at the end of 16th over, and they reached 206 at the end of 20th over. So that is hell lot of runs given. And if you have to win tournaments, you can't afford to give so many runs in the death.
Kedar, what are your thoughts on that youngster Udana?
Oh, if you talk about Udana, well, I've seen his few of the training videos. Well, he has got quite good Yorkers in his pocket that we have seen. Not the one where they have a battle of Yorkers in actual training sessions. And he's making his debut in IPL. I think we should just give him some time. He's a left armer basically. So RCB doesn't have any left arm pacer in their team. So maybe if Steyn and Umesh Yadav keep on going this costly, I think it's okay if Udana gets a chance in the team. Yeah, that's what I think.
As Kedar said that Isuru Uddana can be given a chance or other players on the bench can be given a chance. But changing the combination in such a short span of time, I don't think it's good for the team environment. Because consider this, if you take out Umesh Yadav or Steyn in the next game and the replacement doesn't perform that well, so you have just crushed the hopes of the player who you benched, and you also your replacement has also not performed that well. So there is one key in CSK or any IPL winning team. is that they don't change their combination much. They have the proper right combination, which RCB need to focus on.
So how do you reckon to fix the RCB bowling lineup? What does Kohli need to do?
Oh, if you ask me, the first thing that many people see that RCB haven't done enough in the auction. Well, I think RCB had done just quite enough in the auction by picking up Kane Richardson. Well, sadly, he got injured because if you look at the UAE pitches, Kane Richardson is suited for that pitches. The pitch gets slow. Kane Richardson had some brilliant off cutters. He can bowl at a pace of 125 or 130, but it's just unfortunate for him that he got injured.
RCB luck.
Yeah, well, so apart from that, if you ask me, as we can see, Umesh Yadav and Daleson are just getting thrown out of the ground of in the death overs after 18 overs. So, firstly, maybe if Umesh Yadav or Daleson are replaced by some Indian pacer or Isuru Udana, maybe that is a good chance. Now, second of all, RCB have got the likes of Adam Zampa as well as Yuzvendra Chahal. Look at the factor that Yuzvendra Chahal has brought in the team. He is the only leg spinner that has played so far for RCB, and he has been lethal. He has been picking up wickets. He has been building the middle order pressure that RCB wants. Now, I think if you combine him with Adam Zampa, because the leg spinner has proven effective for RCB, I think that would be very, very, profitable for a team like RCB to build the middle order
You're
pressure
going off
because
topic.
their death bowling is not that efficient. That is my one point. And another point, I think Shivam Dube. Shivam Dube, he is a medium pacer. Also, he has done quite well in the first two matches with the bowling, of course. So, if instead of using Shivam Dube in the death, if you pair him up along with Yuzvendra Chahal and Adam Zampa, I think that would be brilliant. And if you just totally reserve Navdeep Saini for the death bowling, that is fantastic. That's what I think. Because Navdeep, as you have seen in the first match, Navdeep Saini is simply brilliant in the death. So so I don't think that Virat Kohli should use up Navdeep Saini in the middle overs, while just leave the middle over jobs to the likes of Shivam Dube and both the leggies. That I think he should take in another leggy and just simply reserving 2 or 3 overs of Navdeep Saini in the death.
In the first week, we saw teams like DD and RR get off to a flyer. But surprisingly, the big hitters like CSK and SRH haven't quite done what they do generally. So, what do you think the reason might be?
Oh, the main reason I think that CSK hasn't got off the mark is because of their batsmen. It's because Ambati Rayudu and Suresh Raina have been a key factor in CSK's success. Now, like I have mentioned, just while beginning the IPL season, if you just, if one or two batsmen get injured, CSK squad doesn't have the depth to replace any of the batsmen. And I think Murli Vijay isn't quite reliable batsman. So the batting problems have quite hit CSK hard this time, and they literally have no answer to it. With Ruturaj Gaikwad not even timing a single ball, and Murli Vijay failing for the third match consecutively. And that is a problem that they had right from the beginning. So I think that is the main reason why CSK hasn't gotten off to its usual start.
Anyone else? Any other reasons or?
Okay, so if we look at the CSK squad, we can easily spot that there are a couple of boxes which are empty. The first one is obviously Suresh Raina, and the kind of experience he has, he's probably the most important after MS for CSK. And if we consider Ambati Rayudu as a replacement for Suresh Raina, I mean, they both of them played together as well. But at number three, especially at number three, if we see Ambati at number three, I mean, he can play anywhere. I mean, because he has scored runs at the opening spot as well as at the number three spot, as well as number four spots as well. But the last two games were absolutely disastrous for CSK because Raina is already out of the league as of now, and Ambati Rayudu is injured. So playing without these two key factors is absolutely, it's a no-brainer to predict that CSK is lacking that strong core or strong middle order. So I think without...
I'd like to add something here, if you don't mind.
Okay.
The injuries, we have seen that Shane Watson has stopped bowling, so he can reserve his energy for batting. Similarly, now Raidu is injured. Don't you think that it was not logical to go with all the, you could say 30 plus or the players in their later part of career and get some youngsters in who can get in the energy and
Yeah, especially after
I have a
the
good counter to
start
this.
hitting the ground.
I have a good counter to this.
everyone has lost the track of their fitness, and your average age for your squad is 33. What do you think about it?
Mainly, listen. I want to say something here. You're talking about the age. Obviously, the injury factor, the injury bubble is there with a lot of age, 30, 35. But these players are 35 years old. They know how to take care of take care of themselves, and not be in that injury bubble. So yes, Ambade Rayudu isn't that injured. He's not 100% fit. So as a precaution, he wasn't played in the two games. He will be back at SRH. Obviously, the injury concerns will be there, but I don't think you need to worry about a squad whose average age is 30, 35. They can take care of themselves.
See,
Yeah, but
considering all of their ages, I mean, they are called as Daddy's Army. So I think there is nothing to worry about because last couple of games were disasters, as I said. But see, they have the strength of CSK is that they don't panic, and that is their biggest strength. So I think if we consider CSK's core members or CSK's core batting order, they have got Shane Watson, which will eventually play 16 games, considering all of those league games and couple of games of the playoffs. So I think uh, the patience is the only answer, I would say, and I don't think there is nothing to worry about. And I would say the same to SRH as well, because once David Warner comes into the form, I mean, we all know how dangerous he is. So I think there is nothing to worry about. And as of now, there is no place for Kane Williamson in SRH playing 11 because Mohammad Nabi is probably the best all-rounder in T20 leagues, and Rashid Khan is the best leg spinner, and he's debatably the best bowler in T20 cricket. So you can't think of getting Ken Williamson into the 11.
Okay,
yeah,
yeah,
but
I agree by your point.
as you
Williamson and Mohammad. I agree that Mohammad Nabi is the best T20 all-rounder and Rashid Khan is debatably the best leg spinner. But I think currently what the SRH squad needs more than a best T20 all-rounder is a stable middle order batsman whom
exactly,
SRH can rely upon. The main thing that SRH is doing is just not sticking to their strengths. The main SRH
yeah,
strength came from their bowling attack. Their bowling attack used to have four formidable pacers, including the names of Sandeep Sharma, Bhuvaneshwar Kumar, Khalil Ahmed, and also Siddharth Kaul.
Trent
So
Bolt.
if you're benching two of them, that's like taking your backbone away. Now, if your backbone has been taken away, you definitely need someone whom you can rely on in the middle overs. If your bowling department is not as efficient as it used to be in the 2018 and the 2017 season, that is why, if you ask me, Kane Williamson is a must pick for now. I know Mohammad Nabi is excellent. He has got some fifers in the CPL, but currently the SRS squad needs a Kane Williamson more than Mohammad Nabi.
Yeah,
Yes,
and
I'll go
also
with
you
the
can
same one.
say, yeah, you can
Yes.
say that they have a keeper batsman like Bairstow in the squad and they're still playing Saha. You can shuffle some places
Because,
around and get Kane
because
Williamson in for that.
Saha is a very experienced player and he is
Yeah, but
almost 35.
you
But
can't be
he
scoring
has
30 runs in
IPL
30 balls.
I mean, you can't judge any player by just one game. So, I mean, as I said earlier, patience is the only answer to all of these questions.
Yeah, but
As
I'd
I
Mainly,
said,
still
I
you
pick
had a
can't
point
Kane
here.
over Wriddhiman
you
Saha.
can't you can't give a player a role who he hasn't performed ever. Riddhiman has never been a number for batsman ever in T20. His hundreds and all his brilliant performances have come up the order. But so Kane Williamson will be an ultimate pick because you don't have any number for batsman.
Exactly.
Once Manish Pandey, Johnny Bairstow, David Warner is done, who are the batsmen? Priyam Garg isn't experienced that much. You played at Dimansa, it didn't work. Yes,
Yeah,
one game
Because
can't be
Priyam
judged,
Garg
but
is definitely
you
not
have to
effective
play.
against slow pitches because Priyam Garg
Surely.
is not all that powerful hitter of the ball. So whenever the pacer bowls slow at him at the chest level, the best that PM can do is push it for a single, which is definitely not going to help him in the T20 format. That's what I think.
And even they
But
are not playing Vijay Shankar. Why? He's
Yeah,
so
they've
good,
benched him.
player of spin.
yeah,
He's proved it day in and day out.
supposedly
So
See, as
you
I
just
said,
take
was
out
as
in the World Cup squad, and yet he is
obviously.
forming the bench in the SRH squad. Ironic.
see as Kedar said, the weakness of bowling has been increased. So you can't risk Mohammad Nabi now because he's one of the best bowlers in power play. So you need to have him in power play.
Prathamesh, as you said, Warner will find his form, Bairstow will find his form, it's fine. But I don't think I have seen in all these 13 seasons any team who have won the trophy based on just one player. It's a team effort. You need a proper team and not just a top heavy side. That
Again, if
I
you ask me,
concluded.
SRH strength was never their explosive top order. SRH strength was their brilliant bowling attack. So instead of focusing much on Warner Bairstow's, work rate, they should focus on what has happened to their bowling attack because that was their strength. What SRH was known for. That's what I think.
Mihir.
Yeah, so I'd like to add a point where I think Prathamesh said that they are CSK are going for experience over talent, and that is a tactic that worked in 2018 when they came back from their 2-year ban, and they absolutely took the tournament by storm because they had a set of players who had a bit of trust in each other that they can go on and win the trophy. But I think that this year, due to the lockdown and the 6-month break that all the players have gone through, I feel that the players who are aged 33 and 35, they're finding it a little bit hard to get back into the zone where
Shape.
you start hitting the huge sixes. Like if you look at people like Sanju Samson and Rahul, who are a bit young, a bit more fit, they have found it very easy to get back into that zone where they just become unstoppable. And that is one thing where CSK have been lagging. CSK used to be the team who are patient and they keep it till the end and they make sure that they win it at the end. But I feel that this time around, with the fitness issues and the slightly aging players, they're keeping a lot at the end for people like Dhoni and Sam Curran to finish it off at the death overs. So I think
Okay,
that's a
so
big major factor.
You guys for watching. Make sure you
I
like, share, subscribe, and comment.